Hello, 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 hello. It is 1 minute till noon. Gonna get started playing soon. I rhymed. Just editing the YouTube information and then we'll get started. We are headed to Vegas, baby! For Sea of Stands. Always a magical time. Ba-doop-boop-boop-ba-doo. Just gotta post the link. Alright. Let's do this. Make sure I'm stocked up. I probably am, but I gotta make sure. Look at the freaking lichens and stuff growing on the rock here. Like, Gorilla went hard. Beautiful. This isn't Bloodborne. I don't have to hold circle to run. Oh my gosh. Bad at video games. Bad at playing multiple video games that have similar but different controls at the same time is what it is. We are stocked and loaded.
The old ones like to dance.
Well, they didn't have two left feet like I do.
I could teach you.
Don't tempt me.
By the forge, find an inn and leave me alone.
Fire away.
Get a room, you two.
I need to head out.
Watch your back.
It looks like we got 2 subscribers since last night. Thank you for whoever that is. Just gonna make sure that Gaia doesn't have anything to say real quick. And then we will head to Vegas.
Welcome back.
Hi, Gaia.
Hello, Aloy.
So I talked to Beta. Didn't learn much.
It seems to me you did. From what she describes, the Zeniths controlled every aspect of her life, even as they shunned her. This Tilda was the first person she ever had contact with. An abrupt severance of such a relationship would be very emotionally damaging.
Yeah, I guess you're right. So there's a few people here now, and they're learning. All about you, the ancient world. Almost like what was supposed to happen before Apollo was purged.
Yes. While the loss of the Apollo database was catastrophic, there is still much that can be gleaned from the data you have uncovered. For instance, Varl has been reviewing the last recorded entries from those who perished during the Pharaoh Plague. Hearing their hopes and fears made him quite somber.
Anything I should be worried about?
I do not believe so. I have elected not to intervene, to allow him to process this on his own terms.
So the facility where I recovered Demeter used to be a Pharaoh agricultural research facility. It's where they created the biomass conversion system, but also adamantine wreath. Did Elizabeth know they were working on that?
It is likely she was briefed on other efforts to combat the machine swarm, though her focus was devoted only to Zero Dawn.
That makes sense. But they actually got the wreaths to work. if they've been able to deploy it against the Pharaoh Plague in time...
Using the data you recovered on the project, I ran several simulations and have concluded that it would never have worked. In all scenarios, the Pharaoh war machines would eventually hack and deactivate the wreath before they could contain the swarm.
So Zero Dawn really was the only solution. There was a lot of data in the greenhouse facility about agriculture. Do you think it'll help the Quen fix their homeland?
I will run a query. Complete. The data contains information about novel crop production methods, which may be beneficial to the tribe in the long term.
But new crops aren't going to save the world, so I guess it's on us.
It is.
The Zeniths. Gerard, Eric, Tilda, Verbena. Beta said they were some of the most powerful people on Earth. I think Elizabeth knew one of them. Tilda. Did she ever mention her to you?
No. Elizabeth often spoke of her work, or told stories of her mother and her childhood. If she knew this Tilda, she did not disclose it with me. What we can conclude from your and Beta's experiences is that the Zeniths are ruthless in pursuit of their goal. To protect life on Earth, they must be stopped.
Have you been able to make use of Demeter's functions?
Yes. I was able to mitigate most soil conditions and restore a temporary balance. You should notice less rampant plant growth in the area.
Maybe that'll give Plainsong's fields a chance to recover.
Unfortunately, recovery in that area is unlikely without the assistance of the Utaru's land gods. I have discussed this matter with Zoe. I believe we may have a workaround.
Yeah, I'm helping her out with that. There's something I'm still trying to figure out. Why was Demeter using flying machines to distribute metal flowers?
In its deranged state, Demeter was defending itself against a robotic swarm that would devour all plant life.
It thought the Pharaoh Plague was still happening?
It feared it would come again. As part of its directive of reseeding Earth's vegetation, it sought to protect plant life at all costs. And considering it had 20 years to proliferate, I expect you will continue to find the fruits of its efforts for some time.
That's a good thing I have the code to dissolve the vines, then. So, Poseidon, what do we know about it?
Poseidon controls the organic and chemical composition of water resources. Once it is restored to me, I may be able to improve conditions in the regional watershed. But I must warn you, like the others, Poseidon is lost and frightened. It may have taken measures to protect itself.
I'll be careful. I guess I should get going.
As you say. Be well, Aloy.
Is this easy?
Sure that's what the data says?
I'm telling you, it's a drink, but it's soft.
How is it soft?
It says here it had bubbles in it?
Well, we can't expect to make sense out of everything the old ones did. You need something?
Alright. I think I've
to get going.
exhausted everyone's dialogue.
Good luck.
Let's go to Vegas.
I'll be right back.
Let's go to Vegas. And then we'll do side quests next time before we go get
Looks
Omega.
like I can open that door now. There's a lot of equipment in here. Gaia, what was all this for?
This room was designed for management of the facility's vast seed banks. From here, Control Center operatives would have monitored new crop rotations into the automated farmlands, now known as Plainsong.
I see.
I've been tackling the design of the Ag Lab. Place is gonna have a lot of seed stock to work with. My favorite? Sample 626. Calotropis gigantea. The crown flower. We used to have one in our backyard. Butterflies always fluttering around. Every morning, August would run out there to check under the leaves. See if any caterpillars turned into chrysalises. Now, I'd like to imagine that the future will be filled with them.
According to this console, there are still thousands of plant samples stored deep below the facility. I could ask Gaia about them the next time I talk to her.
I wouldn't have taught you a song if I didn't like the way you sing.
So you like hearing me butcher Utaru music?
I sure don't. You sound like a dying longleg.
Just to make sure Sister doesn't have anything to say. I wish that we got more beta in general.
Hi. I'm back. What do you want to know?
Why are these all white?
What else can you tell me about Tilda? She liked to talk about her paintings. What about herself? Did she ever talk about her life on Earth, how she joined the Zeniths, something like that? She never said much about herself, and she hated it when I asked too many questions. But I think, back on Earth, she was an expert programmer, given that she built a data channel the other Zeniths couldn't detect. Is there anything else about her that we might be able to use to our advantage?
She was the first real person who ever bothered to speak to me. I wasn't really assessing her for strengths and weaknesses.
You said that Tilda reached out to you using a data channel?
It appeared in my training interface as another assignment. When I opened it, there were a series of intermittent glitches. I realized they formed a transpositional cipher. Instructions on how to open up a new virtual space. When I entered it, my training interface disappeared. Instead of the usual holographic teachers and files, I was in a perfect recreation of her home.
And you're sure the other Zeniths never knew about it?
To them, it looked like I was still in training. Toiling away. Alone.
So this secret virtual space looked like a house with an ocean view?
I could see whitecaps and hear waves crashing on rocks below. And there were gulls crying outside. Inside, Tilda had frames that showed off her favorite paintings, changing at intervals to match the light. There was an armchair she liked. She'd sit there and gaze outside while I looked through her things. We spent hours in that house. I never wanted to leave.
You said Tilda showed you paintings and let you access media files?
Every time we met, she showed me a new painting. I think she was Dutch. All of her favorite pieces were from their golden age in the 1600s. Portraits, allegories, ships at sea. She had so many.
They didn't interest you?
I liked her media portal. It had so much more than my training interface. Clips, shows, holos. My favorite was this one called Second Time Around, about a family whose kid comes back after disappearing during the Hot Zone crisis.
Right, but did this portal have anything about the Zeniths themselves? Anything we could use?
No. Any information about them was redacted.
It's time for me to go. I'll check on you later.
Yeah, sure.
Beta. If anything happens to her in the next game.
All over the world, too. Anytime they want it.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd like that. I wouldn't want my Aunt Alga knowing she could just talk to me every second of the day. My ears would pop off.
Why are there only 2 arrows knocked right now? But there are 3.
I see you, champion. Sit, please. A few days ago, I came across a massive bloom of flowers east of the grove. Old Uriah was out there, too. I offered to escort her back to Scalding's Spear, but she refused. She's an accomplished soldier, to be sure. But her spear isn't as sharp as it used to be, if you get my meaning.
If I'm out there, I'll keep an eye out for her.
Stay alert, soldier.
That quest with Uriah is so freaking sweet. Like, as in tender, precious, aw, sweet. The flowers. Hey Sammy, I'm doing alright, how are you? Man, this is literally like what's going on with the AI art right now.
to knock the settlement. Might want to stop for supplies.
You have earned a place here.
What is this place? Arrowhead, I think, or something.
So, Regal is your enemy? That's her.
Yeah, the graphics are amazing.
Going down!
And isn't this blight supposed to be clearing up? Like, what was turning into meter for? It hurt me? Blasphemy. Yeah, this is where we want to go.
I'm cooking my armor in this heat.
Same. That's the mountain I'm named after. Campfire right over there. Got it. Oh, the patrol people get in a fight with these. Flowers. They can shoot blood out their eyes. Where's the fire? I love the rock noise. Alright. Vegas, baby. I am convinced that this area here is the proving grounds where they tested the atomic bomb, and that is the Apple II house. Look it up. Tell me I'm wrong. is that Silga? It is Silga. Well, we'll come meet her later. She'll be able to hold them off between now and then.
Sounds like someone's in trouble.
I love Silga. Her story is so beautiful. It's really, really beautiful. But it's a lot of travel. We'll do it another time. Silga. Such a beautiful story. Sneaky snake. Not so sneaky snake. I want to aggro it just for the song. I'm gonna. Just for the song. Ah! What did I do to myself? I got purge watered.
This must be the ruins of Las Vegas. Sorry, shouldn't be far.
Reminds me of the under pressure, surface pressure song in that little bit right there. Very similar to surface pressure. The breaker back line part. You know what I'm talking about? Oh my gosh. How am I not hitting this scorpion that's like right in front of me? Oh, thanks for the kind words, Sammy. How are you? What are you up to today? Man, this quest is so magical. We're going to this building. eventually. I'm gonna meander or Caesar's Palace. Caesar's Palace. Gift shop.
That ruin looks a little more intact than some of the others out here. I wonder if I can find anything interesting inside.
Got very dark very quick.
Gaia said this is where I'd find Poseidon, but the ruins out here are exposed to the elements. A lot of them are buried in the sand. So maybe Poseidon is underground. If that's true, I might be able to find a way down through one of these structures. Water's pouring out of the building. Poseidon's doing? I better check it out. Someone's been through here.
Alright, before I start this, I just need to do one thing real quick. Hold on.
Camping here.
Alright, buddies.
Looks like there's something behind that tarp.
I almost had him. I was so close.
To drowning, maybe. Not to the embers. Morlund, it's over.
Well, not for me, it's not.
Then you're going to die. Alone. Because we're not sticking around to fish out the corpse. We're through.
So the visionary's fate hung in the balance. Would he choose life, or succumb to deadly delusion?
Hello. So, there's an ancient city under the sand, but it's flooded.
Suddenly, a Norse spear maiden appeared.
Yeah, okay, well, you're not typical Delvers. That's for sure. What's this?
I call it a diving bubble. This is the Mark I. The Mark II was better, but it got stuck halfway down. Air tube snagged.
You went down in that.
Yeah, I hardly expect a layperson to understand.
Because that's pretty smart.
I'm sorry. May I remind you, you got stuck inside and nearly drowned.
It'd have to be portable, though. Machine kneecap, maybe?
Well, you'd need a filter.
Synthetic membrane would do it. With a hose to a compressed
air capsule. Hammer and tongs.
What is this? What is happening here? What? Get over here. She's a stranger.
You got a name?
Aloy.
Moreland. Not a stranger anymore.
You're a damn fool.
Come on. I got the original schematics over here.
Oh, well, hold on. Just a couple of questions first.
Fair enough. Partner?
Partner?
Don't mind him.
What's so important down there that you'd risk your life?
Well,
Moreland, I'm not interested in salvage, okay? Whatever you find below is yours.
Well, all right. Then what if I told you we were delving for the most spectacular treasures ever scribed by man or maid?
I'd say get to the point.
No nonsense. I like it. Behold, an ember.
Looks like a piece of junk.
Well, now, yes, but with a proper spark. These magnificent creations of the old ones paint mesmerizing pictures in the air, and the ruins below us are full of them. A feast for the eyes beyond description. Just as my old Gramps promised me.
How did your grandfather discover these embers?
He was here 40-odd years ago. He was one of the first to lead a delving party into the West. He discovered the ancient city around us, plumbed the depths of this very structure. He found the hollow underneath and the glowing embers all about. Took as many as he could and brought them home. He always wanted to come back and get more, but, well, never scraped up the shards. What he really wanted to do was use the embers to put on a show. One unlike the world has ever seen.
Sounds like quite a guy.
He was a true delver and a true showman. And I miss him. But I will do him proud. I will gather the embers and put on a spectacle that would have amazed even him. With your help, of course.
So these embers project images?
Paintings of light. It's amazing stuff. This one showed the most beautiful woman you've ever seen, beckoning all to a buffet of lobster and succulent beefs. I must have watched it about 100 times as a child in my old Gramps' workshop.
What happened to it?
Over time, they die out. I cried the day that this one's light faltered. But there are many more below, as you'll see if you get down there like I did and my old Gramps before me.
So what exactly happened down there?
It was a delve like no other. A chance to follow my old Gramps' footsteps. Beneath this structure here is an enormous hollow, a dome protected from the sands. We built this elevator here to ensure easy egress and exit. It's quite a contraption, actually, and not so easy to...
Right. Again. What happened?
At the bottom, we beheld the treasure my Gramps first discovered. Painted images in the air of every description. Dancing women, games and coins and promises of jackpots. I don't know what that is, but it's gotta be good. But then, something went wrong. The images turned nautical. Waves went through them, even fish. It's like a strange underwater dream.
Poseidon's dream.
Yes. Well, suddenly there was this terrible rushing sound, and then an explosion of water erupted from the floor.
So water just shot up from the floor and filled the place up?
It was a raging flood unlike anything I've seen. We ran like forge fire and barely made it up the elevator as a wave just crashed beneath us. Shaken, but not stirred, I built the diving bubbles Mark I and Mark II. I tried the descent in each, but I nearly drowned both times. Abaddon's beside himself. He thinks I'm insane. But I can't give up now. I've come too far. And the embers are just barely within my reach.
Well, maybe I can help.
Yeah. Maybe you can.
You guys don't seem like average delvers.
We're not really delvers at all. We're showmen.
Like, performers?
You're Nora, and thus unfamiliar with the arts. We stage spectacles all around the claim. Stemmer tells stories, which I augment with all manner of sounds and fireworks, and Abaddon, he, well...
Complains?
He handles the money, which amounts to about the same thing. When we delve, it's to find gear for my theatrics. Which makes this delve the most important one of all.
How deep is it? Can't I just swim down?
Only if you have gills. You can stack 50 kegs in that shaft.
Leave it to the Oseram to measure something in kegs.
Talking liquid depths, I'd say it's apt.
Apt or not, sounds too deep to hold my breath.
Hence, our new invention.
I'd better get after those parts.
There's a fully intact compressed air capsule in the Mark II, but like I said, it's stuck in the shaft.
If you made it back up alive, I should be able to swim down that far.
All right. As for the other parts, Stemmer scouted a herd due south of here that should have what we need.
I'm on it.
Great. I'll come back when you get the gear. Good hunting. What can I do for you, partner?
I need to get going.
Well then, I won't stop you.
I just can't get over the fact that they wrote shaken but not stirred into his dialogue.
The stout-hearted huntress approached. Her appearance as sudden as a spark of destiny. And the delve was at its direst.
That's, quite the introduction.
Maybe a little internal rhyme instead. A maiden arose from the very sands that bore our woes. Nah, too trite.
What is it with you and all the... words?
That's what I do. The stalwart storyteller gazed upon the maiden with well-earned pride in his life's work. Stemmer wordsmith, at your service.
How did you end up following Moreland out here?
Bright-eyed Moreland held his dreams aloft like a burning candle. And where that light went, the hearts of men were sure to follow.
So you admire him?
Admiration is but a gentle fire. It's the spark that delvers and tinkers and rogues alike are sure to warm to.
Okay, guess that answers something. Your friend over there doesn't like me too much. The loud one.
The old bean counter has the personality of a moss-eaten rock. But oh, what a wicked mind for money. And a memory as long as life, or even the smallest debt.
By that he means he owes me shards. 147, to be exact.
But as sharp as he was in things pecuniary, he had a dull forgetfulness for how many times a certain wordsmith saved his hoary hide.
147. 147.
What exactly does a wordsmith do?
Like a tinker at the forge, a wordsmith hammers out words to entrance all who hear them. The young, the old, and frequently the inebriated.
I didn't take the Oseram for storytellers.
Well, they say the only thing makes a cold brew go down easier is a tale of times gone by.
But it's always best to hit the road before the keg runs dry.
Why's that?
Oh, well, the Oseram could get mighty agitated if if they run out of drink, or if they don't like your story.
So you're saying being a wordsmith can be dangerous?
Oh yeah. Story goes the wrong way, Oseram will throw stuff at you.
What, like fruit?
More like chairs or grenades. But the veteran wordsmith persevered through it all, hammer in hand, ready to give as good as he got. How do you think we got here all the way from the claim anyway, past those blasted machines? It wasn't by talking.
Got to go see someone about an underwater city.
And lo, the huntress went forth.
Probably get a guest list of 50. So we'd need at least 3 dozen kegs. Brown ale, maybe. No. For him, scrapper sap.
Are you planning a party?
Budgeting for Moreland's funeral, thanks to you. I was this close. We were gonna move on. Leave all this nonsense behind, and you come along and you spark your wet noodle idea.
It's going to work.
I've heard that before. I'm always willing to engage in some commerce.
So, how does someone like you end up working for someone like Moreland?
I work with Moreland. We got 3 equal claims in this venture. I saw one of his early shows. Back when it was just him and his inventions. Works of flame, lights, and shadows, all kinds of gizmos. Never seen the like. But the man is all spectacle. No sense. Bleeds shards like you get the idea. Without me to handle the finances, his dreams would be sunk. More sunk. Wish we were back in the claim. Plenty of normal shows to do without the salvage from this blasted place.
And yet, you're here, in the middle of the desert, delving for his dream.
It was a good one. But sometimes, a dream has to die.
This dream of Moreland's
is going to get him killed.
Let's say it doesn't. What happens after he gets the salvage down there?
Then we put on the greatest show the world's ever seen. We'll have special seating, premium ale, the works. Moreland will do his light spectacle thing. Stemmer will get their eyes a-sparkling with his tales, and I'll be selling tickets. It's a nice thought, anyway.
Moreland mentioned you were showman.
What? An Osram can't be anything other than a delver, tinker, or drunkard? Okay, sure, we are delvers too, but that is not our main source of income. Mostly, we go town to town, putting on shows.
These shows, what are they? What happens at them?
Tales and spectacle. Moreland's got the technical know-how. Builds all manner of inventions, whirligigs of light and sound, cannons that shoot fire, and showers of sparks, and Stemmer
keeps them enthralled. Tales of adventure in the smoothest baritone.
Yeah, that.
And you?
Me? Who do you think handles the financials for the whole blasted thing? Those two might have the sparks, but do you think they know their way around shards? No, they don't.
So Moreland was down in this ancient city, and...
The three of us went down below.
You?
I can delve, too.
Right. And, then what happened?
What do you think? Water rushed in, we ran. Then Moreland built that blasted thing. Nearly got himself drowned. Twice. You want the finer details of his stupidity? You go ask him.
I'll leave you alone.
Do us a favor. Leave us all alone.
Abaddon has got it bad. It's nice because if you do this on New Game Plus, then you don't have to worry about running out of air. Oh my gosh, dive.
Got the compressed air capsule. Now, to get all the machine parts.
Need something else, friend?
Just saying hi.
Time to go.
You will be missed.
According to Moreland, the herd should be south of here.
A little bit of erosion they popped in there. So, nice little detail.
Some kind of drone.
There.
Is it watching over this area? Might have some useful data. But how to get up there?
Where are the Glintarks? Where are the Glintarks? There they are. Nope, I don't know. I got nothing.
Well, this is where Moreland said the road would be. They must have moved on. I need to pick up their trail. Better look for tracks. There. Tracks should lead me to the herd.
Let's go get him.
This must be where the herd left from. I better follow the tracks in the other direction. There's the herd. I should have the parts I need. Spotted! More machines. Lock them first.
Wow, rude. Ah!
Okay, got them all. Where did the herd go?
He thinks I'm still in combat.
Oh, the storm's whipped up a sand spiral. Great. To my village. One synthetic membrane. Better check the other machines. have a kneecap I can use. The kneecap. Good. I should have all the parts to build this thing now. Better get back to Moreland.
Man, they look like the aliens in Independence Day. Storm won't last forever. I can push through. Alright. Is that what we need? Let's head back and turn it in. I like that the wind affects how the water was flowing.
What can I do for you, partner?
I've got everything I need to build the
incredible diving mask.
I think diving mask is enough.
I won't quibble. The workbench is all yours. Whoa. There's a marvel. If it works, you'll let me try it? I want to get down there and get those embers.
Assuming I don't drown.
So what are you really looking for down there?
It's hard to explain. Something that caused a malfunction in the apparatus that controls the old city. I think it started the flood.
Well, I thought we started the flood. Like we sprung a trap. I don't know how we were detected. Like I said, the dancing lights around us changed, turned to sea life. There was this flash of red. and the roar of water surging in.
Wait, a flash of red?
A red light from a spot near the grate on the floor where the water burst through. It was like a beacon.
Or a warning. Thanks. That might help.
I hope it does. And good luck down there.
Okay, time to see if this thing works. So far, so good. I can actually breathe down here.
I forget if they have anything more to say.
What now?
I'll be going.
Finally.
I should be on my way.
And so the adventure continues.
So there's two ways to get to Yargul, the Unseen Village in Bloodborne Thrive. The first is once you get to the Cathedral Ward and beat Vicar Amelia and advance into the night, there are these guys that appear.
Well then, I won't stop you.
When you first, at the lantern, when you first enter in the Cathedral Ward, there's a man, like, if you go where the stairs are that have a crow by them, so not the side that has the, so it's straight instead of left when you leave from that lantern, if I remember correctly. There's this guy with a bag, and you have to let him kill you. So that's the first way to get to Yargul. And I think you can beat Dark Beast Parle when you go there that time, and you can go a few
we were
places
finally
there.
going to get away from this place.
Well, good thing that Aloy showed up. We'll see.
The longer their
And there's like
sojourn
pigs
in
and
this,
stuff patrolling.
the crustier the shard counter's move became.
Couldn't open the door by the fake amygdala. Yeah, so you can't explore the whole thing. And then, are you talking about the one, when you go down into the second chapel and there's that bowl in the center of the room? Because that is not how to get to Yargul. That's how to get to the lecture building bottom floor. And that you get an item called a tonsil stone
Never been able to
a little bit later. And if you're holding the tonsil stone and you let that amygdala grab you down at the bottom chapel, then that gets you to the lecture building. Patches gives you the tonsil stone after a certain point. If you talk, he'll appear and replace whoever's in a house, and he'll hand you the tonsil stone. I think that's after you get to the Forbidden Woods. So in order to get to Yargul to fight the One Reborn, you can't do that until after you have done Rom. And then you can go to Yargul. How do you do that after you fight Rom? Let me think for a second. Because you get there a different way that time. I'm trying to remember. Because like there's the Hypogean jail is when you get captured by the Bagmen, but that's not Yargul, the Unseen Village, to fight the One Reborn. I think it's that you let, the door will be open after you've beaten Rom, and it's in that same place. But you have to have beaten Rom in Bergenworth, which is after the Shadows of Yharnam in the Forbidden Woods. So, like, you can get to the lecture building, but you can't open the door on the bottom floor until you have beaten Rom, and that's how you get to Yargul. And then the second time you get to the lecture building, upper floor, that leads... in the lecture building, the bottom floor leads you to the Nightmare Frontier, and the top floor leads you to the Nightmare of Mensis in the lecture building. So it's not getting grabbed by the amygdala. It's the door by where you get grabbed by the amygdala is what leads you into Yargul, I think. But the other way to Yargul is to get killed by one of the kidnapper bagmen, and that takes you to the Hypogean jail. But that's not... Like, going through the Hypogean jail doesn't let you fight the One Reborn, because it's a different part of the night. Yeah, the bagmen will take you to Parl, but you can still get to Parl the second time you go to Yargul. The bagmen is how you appear in the jail. But the jail is in both instances of Yargul. It's just the difference of whether or not it's got kidnappers in it, or whether or not it's got the gank crew of 3 hunters.
It started right here, more than 30 years ago. Back when this casino was still called the Temple. One big bet turned my fate around. But now, fate's dealt its cruelest hand ever to everyone. I have to turn the lights out one final time, and the waters of my adopted home will at last run dry. Well, if a dream has to die, at least I can say goodbye first.
Stanley Chen. What did he do here?
Right, so, like, that's what I'm saying. It's after Rom, the area where you get grabbed by the amygdala when you have the tonsil stone, there's a door there, and you should be able to open it after you've beaten Rom. I had to think about it for a minute, because it's one of those things that, like, when I do it, I know what I'm doing, but outside of that, I've only, like, gone through that part of the game, like, 3 or 4 times, and it's been years in between each time, so... The door by the amygdala should be able to be opened after Rom, yeah. When you leave the lake, it should transport you right by it. But... So if you go to the Cathedral Ward, Grand Cathedral, and then when you leave the Grand Cathedral, if you take a left and head down there to that chapel where the bowl is with the executioners out front, the door in there should lead you to Yargul. Sorry, I wasn't sure which point of the game you were talking about. Yeah, Rom is really frustrating. I farmed, like, helping people through Rom a bunch so I could get a little better. And once you learn, it's helpful once you learn, like, the different attacks Rom does. Each one of them is always preceded by, like, the same motion for each attack, and so you can get an idea of what attack is going to be done. The key is not locking on to Rom. Because if you lock on, then you, like, can't run as easily. I actually haven't done New Game Plus in Bloodborne.
Nautical lights. It must be Poseidon's doing. Like a way out. Poseidon's down here, somewhere. Gotta find where it's hiding.
The door should take you, you'll transport to Yargul. And there's a lantern pretty close to when you get where you get transported to. And as you go through Yargul, there's 2 different lanterns. So you'll find a second one, and the one in the jail will be smashed. And then there's like amygdalas everywhere, and the enemies respawn constantly, which sucks. There's a way to prevent that though, but I don't want to spoil anything. Have you done it before? And big beastie swim by,
Whoa! All of it's encased in a dome. That must be the red light that Moreland saw when the water rushed in.
Any luck getting to Yargul?
Alert. Critical flooding detected. Automatic drainage controls offline. To alert.
If I do this purge and drain all the water, I can fight that big machine.
Automatic drainage controls offline. To execute an emergency purge, manual reset of primary and secondary pump nodes is required. The purge can then be triggered at the pump maintenance station.
If I do this purge and drain all the water, I can fight that big machine on dry ground. Looks like I have to reset a couple of pump nodes first. According to the map, there should be an access point for the first node south of here.
Oh wait, so you haven't done ROM yet? Man, the Jaws music here.
More machines down here. I'll just swim around them. Stick to cover. There's the access point. Should lead me to the pump node. There must be a whole network of these tunnels down here. Water lines for an entire city.
The music here kind of reminds me of Fallout, where there's just like a lot of ambiance.
The primer node shut down now. I think the last time I was down here was during the Lumiogran incident. A malfunction led to an overflow of detergent in the pipes. Suds rose from every fountain. As we frantically tried to fix it, I looked up and saw everyone in the lobby chasing bubbles the size of basketballs. Young and old alike. Another magical moment in the impossible city.
Well done. Is this your first time playing Bloodborne ever? Well, that's the Sumerian queen, I think. And that gets into some, like, wild lore stuff that I don't even fully understand, but, or no, it's I think it's Queen Yarnum. I don't know. I don't know, like, I have guesses, and then there's, like, theories, but, like, the lore of Bloodborne is, like, you gotta kind of piece it together, and no one's entirely sure. But there's a lot in the game lore about babies being taken.
One node down.
And the great ones, like, long for a surrogate, and there's, like, curses that have been laid and stuff. And so, like, if you notice, like, her belly is all covered in blood and looks pregnant-ish, there's something going on with that I'm not entirely sure I understand. But you see her again later in the game. And you should be hearing, like, a baby crying at this point in the game. For the rest of the game, there will be occasional sounds of babies crying, basically.
According to the map, the second node should be...
There's a lot in the lore about people taking babies and gods forcing people to have babies, and people killing a god and leaving its baby orphaned and stuff like that. And there's a lot of messes around people being awful, basically. Alright, that's the building. Gotta go through that tunnel down there.
Another access point. Should get me to the second node.
Just shut down the secondary node. No more water for the fountains. No more shows. No one left to appreciate them anyway. I'll never forget the city's grand reopening. The fountains had been bone dry for years. No one believed they'd ever return. So, as the first bloom arced up in the dome, the music swelling, my heart soared right along with it. The city gave me a second chance once. Now it had one, too.
The domes, the water. He was responsible for all of it.
There's, like, some data points to talk about, like, nightmares, rituals, pray the newborn. So there's, like, a few different storylines going on. You've got Master Willem and Lawrence. And Lawrence leaves Bergenworth to found the Healing Church and brings the blood to Yarnum. And distributes the blood to people in blood ministrations of the Healing Church. And he goes with Yarnum, and Maria, and Mikolash, and a bunch of other Bergenworth scholars.
Okay. I've taken care of both nodes.
The blood was
Now I
found
just need to activate the emergency
beneath
pump to the
Yarnum,
maintenance station.
in the, like, catacombs. And I think that's the lore behind the Chalice dungeons, basically. But there's also this stuff with this god called Kos. Where the old hunters did some pretty terrible stuff to a fishing hamlet that they want kept secret. It's pretty bad, and then that's why the hunters like go blood drunk and are cursed. And there's some like infected blood that leads to beasthood.
The south end of the dome.
And they're cursed for like what they did to Koss, and they're cursed for what they did to the fishing hamlet. And it's bad news bears. But there's also like there's two different nightmares. There's the one that's caused by Koss, and then there's the nightmare of Mensis. So one is the hunter's nightmare, and the other is the nightmare of Mensis. And so Yargul is like this ritual to try and basically create a great one, and that's the one reborn, as I understand it.
Just like at the console I found earlier.
Bloodstone chunks become more available the later in the game you get. Like, you should start finding a bunch of them in Yargul and beyond, and there's a ton in the DLC as well. They become pretty plentiful. But if you kill the little scurrying guys in Yargul, they should start dropping bloodstone chunks in Yargul. But if you find a blood rock, just so you know, you don't find a blood rock until you get to the Nightmare of Mensis. But once you find the blood rock, that's like
I think I'm in the maintenance station now.
one per playthrough from there, and then there's like a few that you can get in Chalice dungeons, but like they are very, very rare. They get your weapon up to +10, but they're like, you got to be careful how you spend it because they're very, very rare. The bloodstone chunks, you can eventually get lots and lots of them, and you will be swimming in them. The blood rock is towards the end of the Nightmare of Mensis, once you get to the, like, towards the top of Murgo's Loft, and there's kind of a secret path you have to take to get it. And there's this lever you have to pull, and then you have to go in this elevator. Or no, after you pull the lever, you have to go in the room where the thing was that the lever drops. And it's this room towards the top of the building that you have to go on a secret path to get, that involves jumping out of an elevator that's side is broken open. So there's this place where there's two elevators right by each other, and it's the second elevator, and you have to jump out the side of it, and then there's like a bunch of these things called winter lanterns that are awful, and they sing, and they frenzy you, and it sucks.
System shutdown's almost done. The only thing left is to power everything down at the control center. So, I guess this is it. One final walk down the strip, and then it's lights out forever. At least I won't be around to see it destroyed. The Odyssey will be well on its way to Sirius by the time the swarm gets here. Still, my last memory of this place will be empty. A city that's already dead.
Stanley Chen was one of them. The Zenith. But he did so much for this place. He doesn't sound like the others.
Yeah, you'll have to beat the one reborn first.
There should be a console in here.
Because when you beat the one reborn, that's how you get the access to the Nightmare of Mensis. Is there anything that goes with... No, just the spoken part. Okay. Up we go! Time to watch some cars float.
There. Time to try this place out.
Speaking of towers with red lights coming out of them, reminds me of the Nightmare of Mensis.
That did it! Okay. Now I can deal with that machine guarding the door on the other end of the dome. And once I get past it, I can get to what's waiting on the other side of the door. Poseidon.
Allusion to what comes later.
The purge didn't get rid of all of the water. Get my kit dry at least.
Reminds me of the music in Morrowind. Or like just the Elder Scrolls in general. But specifically the Nerevar theme. What's up, Astro? You didn't miss your favorite part, which is probably my favorite part too. The hero of the story, the keeper of the shard.
Left these machines behind. I could sneak by them. Deal with a big one first. Fire will make things easier.
How'd you get over there? I'm sorry, what is going on with this Snapma right now? It's glorious. That was incredible. I'm also really digging the battle version of this song. Man, now that it's out on PC, like, what I'm wondering is how are the PC audio files encoded? Because it's like the layers come in and out as you play, so clearly the mix, like the audio files that go with the game, have to be somewhere in there, like with the layers separated out. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like, I need someone to get on that has the PC version and pick up what I'm putting down here, you know what I mean? Underwater mushrooms, what can go wrong? I love the way that this metal is groaning. That sounds safe. Pre-salted. This is lake water. Isn't it? But yeah, probably salty anyway. Exactly. Speaking as someone living in Phoenix, can attest that our water is minerally as hell.
Okay. Poseidon is through there. Where did that machine go?
Aloy! It's a miracle!
Was this you? Did you lower the waters?
Yeah, but there's a new problem. That thing's in our way.
Yeah, it's gonna be difficult to get the embers with that around.
As the scrappy band of adventurers beheld the beast, they knew what they had to do.
What? Are you crazy? Hush now. She saved our Delph.
Okay then. Stay up here and start firing when I engage.
Where is it? You. Wow. Don't you purge water me. No, I need to not be purge watered.
I need to get my stamina back first.
How does that still work when I shocked you? Yeah, how does it feel to be purge watered, huh?
Down it goes!
Aloy! You did it!
That's the creepiest face. Sea dragon from... How did it get in here is what I want to know. How did it get in here? I need an explanation. Where did it get in here from? Embers in our wake. Yeah, it's creepy as hell when it splits open like that. I mean, that's a freaking like grinder. Really even got hurt. Optional. 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 Who wrote that? How dare you?
Their foe bereft, stripped. Whatever we planned on charging for this show of ours, it just doubled.
Hi, friends!
You guys all right?
More than all right. We did it! All the embers we could ever want, and it's all thanks to you.
Very, heartwarming. But maybe we can just, you know, grab what we came here for and get out before any more of those things decide to show up.
Now, shard counter. Nothing wrong with a little reveling. Though we should probably let our flame-haired friend get going. I believe she has business down here, does she not?
Right, of course. You need any help?
I can handle it from here.
Very well. We'll start taking some of the embers upstairs. Holler if you need us.
Thanks.
The dolphin noises get me, man.
Poseidon should be somewhere around this here. Time to bring it home. Okay. Poseidon should be hiding in some kind of processor. I need to find a console to gain access to it.
Nora, freaking look out.
There. I should be able to use that console.
I can't do it. I can't give up on this place. I'm leaving everything on standby. The system's equipped for runs for decades, if not hundreds of years. It's a long shot. But maybe someday, against all odds, someone will find this place again. Marvel at its lights and wonders. Discover a fortune and boundless opportunity. Make it their own dream. After all, if the city can give me a second chance, if water can flow in a wasteland, anything's possible.
He was right.
Against all odds, said Mr. Lucky. I'm not gonna take the photo, but it's nice to consider the potential.
I'm here to bring you home, Poseidon. To Gaia. Elizabeth Sobek. Alpha Prime.
Master override activated. Restoring Poseidon's subordinate function to original code.
I think you told me about doing that with the meter, and that's what inspired me to try and even look into it this playthrough. Did you post it, or did you send it to me?
Looks like taking Poseidon triggered a restart of the city's power system. Moreland and crew must have headed back up top. With all the embers they could carry, I bet.
This reminds me of Avatar.
An elevator.
What's up, Michael?
Norland must have built this before the place flooded. Nice to work. Be nice not to have to climb back up.
I haven't really been doing photo mode this playthrough. Kinda nice to take the pressure off. Not that photo mode is a pressure, but just like the more continuity of just playing the game, you know what I mean?
They must have powered up the whole Cool. How much did all this cost?
Oh, the show my old Gramps always wanted.
There's another.
His dream realized, his old Gramps' legacy ensured. Our hero beheld the sea of desert lights and wept at his good fortune.
When I saw the embers as a child, I never dreamed they could be like this. Thank you, Aloy. Well, did you find what you were looking for?
I did. And now I have to move on.
Oh. Oh. Come back when you can. I got big plans for this place.
I thought you wanted to put on shows with the Embers back in the claim.
Oh, no. This is the show. Oh, can you imagine? Folks from all over the land coming to take it all in. Plus, some food and a nice place to stay.
Not to mention a variety of entertainment venues.
Don't forget, games of chance. Plenty of shards to be had there for certain.
A new dream, huh? I hope you make it happen. Goodbye, gentlemen.
This delve is a story for the ages. All thanks to you.
If Moreland and crew's gonna stay, maybe I should come back and check on them later. For now, I need to get Poseidon back to Gaia. But with all the ruins here, might want to look around before I head back. And with my new diving mask, I should be able to swim as deep as I want to. Once I find a place with more water.
We should build a place for kids too, where they can play, you know, parlor games.
Like a carnival?
Yeah, but like, we should make it sound extra big and extra fun.
You mean call it something like Carnival?
Okay, just saying something twice doesn't make it sound better, Abaddon. I was thinking, maybe we could have attractions here that duplicated those from other cities.
Like a recreation of Elderman's Hall in Mainspring?
Exactly! Or the Palace of the Sun in Meridian.
So travelers came to the miracle in the desert and beheld all the spectacle the world had to offer.
I've been thinking. So, their show's great and everything, and the tales and the spectacle and everything is great. Really, but I think this year we should add some music. I prepared a little something for you guys. Just what? Just 1 second, okay?
No pressure.
No, okay, here. The hero of this story is the keeper of the shards, the mathematical genius, and a really nice fella. He's the hero. And then this hero.
How long you been working on this?
7 months.
Yeah, it's not very good. Maybe next year.
Really?
Yeah, just to give it a little, time to breathe and think about it, and maybe.
I had a spin.
No.
We're afraid you're gonna blow a knee if you do a spin.
Hero of the
Oh,
story.
please.
You still owe me 147, sure.
Oh, would you please put that to bed?
All right.
Gentlemen,
Same.
guys,
147.
please, have it done. Let me enjoy this.
It was all worth it.
Ralph, you've never seen this? Oh my gosh. It's one of the best things in both games.
If we're gonna build lodgings for visitors, how big should they be?
I could see this spectacle bringing in quite a lot of folks.
What if we combine the lodgings with a stage? And a restaurant? And a place to play games of chance?
We should build a place for kids too, where they can play, parlor games.
Like a carnival?
Yeah, but like, we should make it sound extra big and extra fun.
You mean call it something like Carnival.
Okay, just saying something twice doesn't make it sound better, Abaddon. I was thinking, maybe we could have attractions here that duplicated those from other cities.
Like a recreation of Elderman's Hall in Mainspring?
Exactly! Or the Palace of the Sun in Meridian.
And so travelers came to the miracle in the desert and beheld all the spectacle the world had to offer.
Moreland? I've been thinking. So, their show's great and everything, and the tales and the spectacle and everything is great. Really, but I think this year we should add some music. I prepared a little something for you guys. Just 1 second, okay?
No pressure.
No, okay, here. The hero of this story is the keeper of the shards, the mathematical genius, and a really nice fella. He's the hero. And then I have this hero.
How long you been working on this?
7 months.
Yeah, it's not very good. Maybe next year.
Really?
Yeah, just to give it a little, time to breathe and think about it, and maybe.
I had a spin.
No.
We're afraid you're gonna blow a knee if you do a spin.
Hero of the story.
Oh, please.
You still owe me 147 short.
Oh, would you please put that to bed?
All right.
Gentlemen.
Just saying.
Guys.
147.
Please. Have it done. Let me enjoy this.
It was all worth it.
If we're gonna build lodgings for visitors, how big should they be?
It's always warm glow, man. Yeah, that's what I thought. The time of day doesn't, it won't change. There we go. That's the... Was I the one who found it first? I mean, I know when I played this the very first time, I stood out here and listened to all their dialogue a few times. But you were the one that, like, popularized it by actually clipping it and posting it. Wasn't it your post that got the response where they explained that it was improvised? Like, for some reason, you didn't post about it until, like, way later, but, like, a lot of people hadn't realized about it, and then the post went everywhere or something, right? I feel that's how I remember it going down, Astro. So, like, you're the one that brought it to everyone's attention.
Those look like snow clouds.
I love that she says that as it's actively snowing. Fair enough. I don't know if I realized that. But I will happily
Pizza?
receive the kudos there.
Worse the longer it takes to be delivered. Or something like that.
Maybe you can find the recipe?
I think it was just flat bread with cheese and some sauce.
I like it already.
What? Cheese providing, like, what cheese providing animals do they have?
Looks like you got what you wanted.
Yeah. It's almost time to go after Hephaestus.
Finally. We get to rock and roll. Yeah, at least that's how the old one said it, I think.
Right, of course there's goats. I forgot.
Bet you're used to that focus by now.
Well, I can hit machines in their weak points. I guess that's something. I wish all the other data was as easy to deal with. To be honest, it's hard to understand half of what's on there. And then the other half reminds me, this isn't a fight you can win by just waving a hammer. Which is kind of what I do. But hey, that just means I gotta study harder. Make myself useful.
Just give it time. Anything happen I should know about?
Zoe asked us to help her bring more plants in here. Not for eating, apparently. Yeah, if you ask me, the place is fine as it is. Metal might be plain, but it's sturdy. Nothing wrong with that. Who needs a bunch of vegetation?
I should get going.
Say hi to Gaia for me.
So next week I want to do some side quests and kind of break away from the main story for a couple weeks before we go get the Omega clearance and send Beta into locking herself in her room forever. So please, this is my last of the 3 sub-functions, so the next thing is Tomb. So before we go and do Tomb, I want to do some side quests.
Not on purpose.
So feel free to suggest which side quests I should do. I want to do them on, like, a theme. So if I do 2 or 3 side quests, I want them to kind of relate to one another.
Aloy, is that what I think it is?
Just need to merge it with Gaia, and she'll have enough power to handle Hephaestus.
Good news. So, what can I do for you?
I hope Zoe's not upset I'm distracting you from your training.
Yeah, I don't think you have to worry about that.
What do you mean? What happened?
Well, before Zoe found a way to fix the land gods, I suggested that when Gaia was fully restored, she could just make new ones.
Well, once we get Hephaestus, that's definitely a possibility.
That's what I said. But I guess there was something about my tone she didn't like. She got pretty raw. Said I didn't understand the way her tribe feels about those machines. Which is true, of course, and the last thing I'd ever want to do is dismiss their traditions. But I was trying to look at things differently. More like you know? To see a machine as just a machine.
Yeah, I guess I led you into trouble there, didn't I?
Not your fault. Don't worry.
Did you talk to Zoe after your fight?
I suffered through a few hours of glaring silence. Then she seemed to move on. Sort of. How do people do this? How do I know if the next thing I say won't blow up in my face? What if an apology is not enough next time?
You give her a stuffed animal?
You're the worst. You know that?
What makes you think I know anything about any of this? You're on your own.
Abandoning me again, huh? Well, if she kills me next time, it's on you.
Better get this to Gaia.
You did it, Aloy.
Let's hold off on the ale till it's over and done with.
I'll let Aaron know.
Aloy, you've returned. And you come bearing gifts. Does this mean we'll soon be able to uproot the Zeniths from our lands?
That's what I'm hoping.
Good.
It looked like you were working on something over there.
With Gaia now growing in strength, I've been trying to find a way to heal the land gods, even if some people think I should give up on them.
Already said I was sorry.
Your friend thought it'd be a good idea to replace the land gods with new machines when Gaia recovers.
It wasn't.
The land gods have taken care of our people for generations. They are not some broken toy to be thrown away. Even if they are just machines doing their job, to abandon them in their time of suffering seems cruel.
I'm sure Varl understands that too.
He does now. I had to get pretty mad at him at first, though.
You know I can hear you guys, right?
I assume you've been looking into Demeter now that Gaia's merged with it?
Yes. It's been humbling. To know that the seeds I carry in this pouch came in turn from the seeds saved for Demeter in the old world. It gives me hope that the cycle of life will prevail now, just as it did before.
You ever play that board game Aaron set up?
Strike? I'm the one who gave it to him. I was hoping it'd distract him enough to spare us that ruckus he calls death metal. No such luck.
Are we supposed to
if you need me,
conclude
you know where
that
to find me.
Concrete Beach Party is death metal? Or did he find some of Travis Tate's music?
You want to talk?
I need to go.
Back to training it is.
Where is Julia?
So this Hephaestus.
Yeah, no, exactly. Porgif and Silga.
Yeah. A very angry one.
As like my Uncle Lawrence.
Estranged siblings.
Man didn't smile a day in his life and would box your ears if you messed with his forge.
I saw Silga today and I was like, man, her quest is so good. And thank you for remembering his name. I'm so bad at names. Porgif. Well, the thing with the Silga quest is that there's a lot of traveling. I might just break my own rule and use a shield wing for that. Because I don't want to, like, generally try not to use the shield wing until... Or not the shield... You know what I'm talking about. Oh my gosh. Birdie. Flapwingy, Sunwing. It's been a minute.
You busy?
One must never be idle when at war. But there is always time to speak to one's commander.
Oh, that's not really how I see myself.
It is how we see you.
Anything interesting happen while I was away?
I found an acceptable place to practice with my blade.
Oh, and where's that?
Outside, above the base. There's a nest of sunwings that are always up for a fight.
Ever thought of sparring with something that's not trying to kill you?
That would defeat the purpose of the training.
What have you been up to?
Varl has asked to learn the differences between my people's clans, so I've been teaching him Tenakth history. It is heavy with blood and death, but also with honorable deeds and vanquished tyrants. Maybe you'd like to hear about it as well, when our mission is done.
I'd be honored. I'll let you get back to your training.
And so will I.
Hi. I'm back.
What do you want to know?
So, have you been going through more of the recordings for my focus? What about studying Hephaestus? Have you been doing that?
A little. It's quite different from the subordinate function that escaped Gaia Prime 20 years ago.
How so?
It's mutating. Changing its own code. At this rate, we'll never capture it.
We'll find a way.
If If you say so.
So, aside from Varl and Gaia, who else have you been talking to?
Zoe told me how you met after your escape from the Hades Proving Lab. I had no idea you were severely injured. If the Zeniths had killed you, life on Earth would be doomed. My escape would have been for nothing.
But they didn't kill me. And thanks to Varl and Zoe, I was able to recover. You said you and Varl talk sometimes. What about?
He told me about your tribe, the Nora, and the proving ritual you did. I told him if I was born into the tribe, I'd never be able to do the proving.
It does require a lot of physical training, but there are plenty of other roles besides being a hunter.
I don't think I'd be suited for any of them.
Well, I guess it's a good thing you're not a Nora, then. That's enough for now.
Good.
Aloy, go to your crate. Need some time out. Bad dog. The lack of self-reflection in that exchange on both of their parts.
Technology really can be an amazing thing.
Yeah, until it gets a mind of its own and decides to kill everyone.
You're just a ray of sunshine, aren't you?
Only for you.
Like, hey, actually, Aloy is beta if she had been born in the tribe. Like, both of you need to recognize that. Be nicer to your sister, Aloy.
Welcome back, Aloy. I see you have recovered Poseidon. With the acquisition of Ether, Poseidon, and Demeter, my heuristic processing density has expanded greatly. I should now be able to absorb Hephaestus, and fortunately, we have made progress on a plan to capture it. With Varl's encouragement, Beta analyzed all available information on Hephaestus. Its expansion has been rampant. It is too large to be beamcast, and the kernel you have been using could never hold it. Therefore, a direct physical connection to me. A place with 2 data cores.
A place like that.
Gemini.
An abandoned cauldron in the desert was. Seismic activity disrupted the original construction. 2 data cores were built as a result.
I've been there. The Tenakth marked the entrance as some kind of ritual ground. We'll have to bring you there by hand.
I have devised a blueprint for a suitable, albeit unwieldy, transport rig. It will require 2 people to carry it to Gemini.
I can help.
Once I am installed on the first core...
Build it? I suppose I could, but it's not gonna work. The Zeniths will find you. Minerva won't be able to conceal your location.
That is correct. Absorbing Hephaestus will create a significant power surge, easily detected by anyone capable of noticing.
But what if there were multiple power surges? To fake out the Zeniths? If Erend, Zoe, and Katalo spread out to the other cauldrons and create their own surges, would those conceal the one at Gemini?
Analyzing. Such a tactic might be effective. With Beta's help, we should be able to build a set of...
out of its access module. You'll never be able to capture it.
Then we need a higher level of clearance.
There is no higher... Ted Farrow's mega clearance.
The one he used to purge the Apollo database and kill the Alphas.
But to get it, you would have to find Thebes. The private bunker he retreated to when the world ended, and nobody knows where that is, not even the Zeniths. Their only intel was that it was somewhere in San Francisco.
That might be all I need. Alva, the Quen diviner I met, said her people had set up a base at landfall. They were searching for data in San Francisco from there. She might be able to help. So I guess I'm headed all the way west. While I'm gone, will you be able to build the rig and the pulse generators?
I'll try.
I'll make sure she has what she needs.
Alva said the Quen have a ferry on the coast that they used to get to the ruins of San Francisco. That's where I need to go.
Aloy, I have managed to unlock an additional room near the servers.
Understood. Hey, Gaia. I'm back.
So I see what is on your mind.
Were you able to make use of Poseidon?
Yes. Many rivers, streams, and lakes associated with the regional watershed have been detoxified. As a result, red algae growth levels have seen a marked decline. According to my data, however, it appears a localized occurrence of red algae continues to persist near the coast.
Maybe I'll look into it when I can. So, Poseidon spent the last 20 years hiding out in Las Vegas. From the data I found, it seems the city had an advanced water reclamation system. Is that why Poseidon went there?
Most likely. In an effort to protect itself, Poseidon sought out a safe harbor where it could access water supply functions. There, buried and encased in a protective dome, it could guard against any threats.
Like 3 Oseram showmen?
I suspect that was not the first time it felt the need to repel trespassers.
Beta's convinced we won't be able to capture Hephaestus. With that attitude, do you really think she'll be able to build the rig and pulse generators?
It may take some coaxing, but with some assistance I am confident she will.
I don't get her, Gaia. She's so quick to assume we'll fail. She's nothing like what I thought she'd be. I guess it'll be best if she stays here when we go to Gemini. All this data I've picked up in ancient bunkers and ruins. I guess I never really thought that other people would be looking at it.
Based on my observations, your companions engage quite frequently with this material. Erend has asked on numerous occasions about birthday parties. He appears perplexed by the tradition of serving a sweet confection, as it conflicts with the Oseram tradition of serving sparkling stout ale. He also suggested we host a party for you, as a surprise.
Yeah, no thanks.
That is what I predicted.
Is Katalo getting along with everyone?
Yes, though he prefers to spend most of the time alone. He appears to be collating data on war machine progression and significant battles during the Pharaoh Plague, to aid in the creation of a war map of Operation Enduring Victory. I believe he aims to study the tactics of old world warfare.
I'd be interested in seeing that.
It appears to be a private pastime for him. He has repeatedly declined my offers to assist his research.
So now that you have Ether, Demeter, and Poseidon, how's the biosphere looking?
In the local region, conditions have improved. Superstorms have subsided. Water sources have been purified, and soil conditions remediated. These improvements will stave off environmental collapse for a few additional months.
Well, with luck, soon you'll have Hephaestus. Then you'll be able to fix the biosphere for good, right?
Correct. I will be able to design and produce robotic agents to permanently reverse the environmental damage that has accumulated.
So our plan to capture Hephaestus. Let's go over it again.
As you wish. Thanks to Beta's test, we now know that Hephaestus will not respond to your Alpha clearance. Which is why you will need to procure Ted Farrow's Omega clearance.
Right. From his personal bunker, Thebes.
While you are gone, I will assist Beta in building the transport rig and pulse generators. When we get to Gemini, I will need to be installed on one of the facility's cores. The second core is for Hephaestus. Using Omega clearance will allow you to trap it.
And then you'll be able to absorb it.
Not quite. You will need to manually remove Hephaestus's malicious code before the merge.
How long will that take?
There are calculations I still must run, but I estimate a few hours.
And during that time, the others will create a distraction for us using the pulse generators, right?
Correct. They will each take position at a cauldron door and fire off their device. The energy surge should mask our activities until the merge is complete.
And then we'll have everything we need to defeat the Zeniths. Sounds like a plan. There's something I've been wondering. How could Ted Farrow create a clearance level higher than Alpha? Elizabeth made sure he wouldn't interfere with the project.
It is plausible he tasked his own engineers with creating a backdoor to the Zero Dawn system, without Elizabeth's knowledge. My predecessor did not even know of its existence until he activated it to purge the Apollo database. It is, in effect, a blind spot. One that will allow us to subdue Hephaestus. And fortunately, thanks to Beta's information, we know where Omega clearance may be procured.
Right. Somewhere in San Francisco. So Gemini has 2 data cores. I've never seen a cauldron like that. But you mentioned something about seismic activity?
When my predecessor attempted to build the cauldron, construction was disrupted by a series of earthquakes. The data core had already been built, but the rest of the facility sustained damage. So, she began again. A second core was built. However, when more tremblers occurred, she abandoned the site.
Lucky for us. Are the quakes still happening?
No, though they did also create instabilities in other facilities in the region.
Iota.
I found some data in one of the rooms you unlocked. It mentioned that there are still functional seed banks beneath this facility. Why is it there?
My predecessor was tasked with reconstituting the biosphere with primary and secondary plant species. Had everything gone according to plan, humans would have eventually been able to introduce tertiary species, including new crops.
Can we access them now?
Unfortunately, it will have to wait. I require control over the machines in order to access and distribute the preserved seed stock.
And for that we need Hephaestus. It's something to look into later then. When I dove down into Vegas, I found data about the man who built the dome over the city, Stanley Chen. It turns out he was a member of Far Zenith. But if he loved Vegas so much, why did he abandon it? Why not try to save it?
The Zeniths, at their core, have proven to be exceptional survivalists. Faced with overwhelming odds of extinction, they chose to flee.
Even still, what he achieved. Water to the wasteland, an entire city brought back to life. 1,000 years later, the whole place was still on standby, just waiting for someone to come along and wake it up. See you later, Gaia.
Until next time, Aloy.
So much exposition.
You know there used to be a rainforest so big the old ones called it the lungs of the planet?
That sounds lovely.
Yeah. They burned it to the ground at some point.
Oh.
But they helped bring part of it back in Sobek's time.
That's good to hear. I wonder if it grew back after Zero Dawn. Wherever it is.
I'd like to think so. I'm sorry, Aloy. After all the trouble you went through, you have to head west again.
Well, no one said this was gonna be easy.
You sure you don't want any backup dealing with the Quen?
They think I'm Sobek, or something like that. They won't hurt me, but I doubt they'll be so kind to anyone else.
If you say so. Let me know if you need anything before you go.
You better not be slacking off on your studies while I'm gone.
And risk Zoe coming after me? I value my life. In fact, I've been reading about Ted Faro. How he destroyed the world and crawled into a hole after killing those who saved it.
He definitely was a piece of work. Well, Beta and Gaia built the rig. Can you get everyone ready for the mission ahead?
Of course.
What is it?
Nothing. It's just that everything's about to change. We'll get Gaia, and she'll help us set things right. No more Zeniths, no more derangement. It'll be a different world. I welcome it, but I wonder how the Nora will react. And the Karja, and well, everyone.
Let's just focus on fixing Gaia for now.
You're right. We've got an angry AI to take down.
If I get Omega clearance, and then we grab Hephaestus, we might finally have the advantage over the Zeniths.
Can't wait to see their faces as they stare down a bunch of charging Thunderjaws.
Better them than us, for once. I'll be in touch if I need anything.
I'll make sure Beta briefs everyone on the pulse generators.
Good.
He doesn't know. It's true. He doesn't know. And he never will.
Aloy, I hear you're going further west past the Tenakth clanlands.
Do you know anything about the area?
Only hearsay. The Utaru tell stories of an island that lies beyond the western coast. They call it the Isle of Spires. It is said the Old Ones built towers there that touch the sky, so they could live far away from the earth that bore them. As if they didn't want to be reminded that they'd one day return to it.
Sounds like something Ted Faro would do. How much have you read on Ted Faro?
Enough to wonder how a man who worked so hard to heal the world once could let greed and pride condemn it so easily. For one spirit to diminish in such a way, I'm not sure if I should hate him or pity him.
You and Varl doing okay? Training, I mean.
We're doing fine. Although I admit it'd be nice to take a small break from studying, just the two of us. But then who'd look after Erend?
Well, there's always Gatalo.
Leave a loud Oseram with a brooding Tenakth. What could go wrong?
What's everyone been up to?
I've been trying to share some of my meals with Beta. Thought it might help her feel more at home. Maybe even get her to sleep up here instead of in that dark basement. She would not be moved.
I appreciate you trying.
Patience reaps the best harvest. I'm not giving up hope yet.
Well, I should get going. Hopefully I can bring back what we need to capture Festus. After that, I'm gonna need everyone's help.
We'll be ready.
It's so sad that Varl had this excitement about the world to come, and he'll never know.
That's just I hear about you going west.
Turns out we need one last thing before we can grab Hephaestus.
Because it would have been too easy otherwise.
You've been looking at any interesting data?
I asked Gaia to find me something to look at a while back, and she found the mother of all forges. They called it sports. Turns out the old ones spent a lot of time tackling and punching each other for points in one game or another. Are you mixing some solid food and fresh ale? I bet half the claim will be lining up to watch.
How are things with Catalo? You still scared of him?
Oh, she thinks she's funny. Actually, I played strike with him. I had to fill in most of the conversation myself, but I'm still alive.
Glad to hear it. I need to get going.
I think I know the answer, but are you sure you don't need any help? Gaia mentioned this other tribe you found, the Quen. They sound like a nasty bunch.
I can handle them. In the meantime, Varl will help you get ready for what comes next.
Take care of yourself, Aloy.
Got a minute?
As many as you need.
I have to travel beyond the western coast.
To the ruins, shrouded in fog.
Yes, and I'm looking for a tribe, the Quen. I encountered them once before. They said they came from across the Great Ocean. I was hoping that Tenakth knew more about them.
There were rumors of trespassers in the area, but we thought they were just bandits. Hikaru sent out a patrol or two, but I don't recall them reporting back. We've had more pressing concerns, as you know. I'm sorry. That's all I can tell you.
It's okay. I guess I'll find out soon enough.
There is something I've been meaning to discuss with you. It's personal. If you have a moment to spare.
Found anything interesting during your training?
Gaia told me where to find data on how wars were waged in the old world. I knew the Ten fought against machines, much as we do now, but it seems they were among the last of their kind. Later, machines battled other machines on behalf of greedy leaders, as they vied for lands and spoils. At least the Tenakth have the courage to put their lives on the line when conflicts arise.
There is nobility in that. But maybe we just need fewer conflicts in the first place.
Yes, of course. Hikaru would have it so as well.
What do Tenakth do to relax? You know, to take a break from training?
We play strike. Your Oseram friend, Erend, is surprisingly good at it, although he has yet to beat me. It helps one think strategically, hones the mind for tactics.
Somehow that still sounds like training. You said there was something you wanted to talk about?
I've been speaking with Gaia. She mentioned that the Zeniths bind metal with flesh to make themselves stronger. I was wondering if you'd help me do the same.
You want to make yourself a new arm?
Yes. Gaia insists she can help me build such a thing if I can get the necessary data and materials. She believes these things lie in the place where Beta hid from the Zeniths.
Their ancient research lab.
I'm not as familiar with old world machinery as you are. I could use your assistance.
It might be dangerous. The Zeniths probably still keep an eye on that place. We were lucky to get out of there alive the first time.
I see.
It sounds like this is worth the risk.
By the 10, we shall see it through.
I should get going. I've got a long road ahead.
Should you need reinforcements?
I know who to call. I'll call you when I'm near the Zenith lab. We'll get what you need for that new arm of yours.
Thank you, Aloy.
Hey, me again.
Was there something else?
So do you have everything you need to build the rig and pulse generators?
Gaia sent me the schematics. The designs are modest, without the capabilities of Hephaestus, but they should work. Not that it matters without a mega clearance.
I'll find it. Just try to have the transport ready by the time I get back. It's time for me to go. I'll check on you later.
Yeah, sure.
Was this door always locked?
Beta requested the use of that room as her personal space. I have locked it at her request.
Okay. Looks like this device connects to that console, but it needs power. Is that another room in the facility?
I've got to be more careful. Jensen almost caught onto my plan while we were going over the diagnostic center specs. I've got nothing against the rest of the team. It's just... I'm sure they've all got family they're gonna meet up with in Elysium. But me? I couldn't even bury August. There is nothing of him left besides my memories. I won't let those blink out of existence too.
A great many things.
The vault's for us, no one else. 11 more weeks before we lock the blueprints.
I just couldn't tell what was real anymore.
Then the rest will be up to Gaia.
They were intelligent, but that doesn't mean they were wise.
Is a burn, if I ever heard one. Look at that bounty. Alright. That's it for today. So, gonna do some side questing next week. Same time, same place. Gonna take a break from the main story for a little bit. Because when we move the main story along, we get into some really sad territory.
It's a long way to the coast. If you need to resupply en route, I suggest stopping in Falls Edge. It's a lowland clan village southwest of the Grove, in the heart of the jungle.
Got it. Thanks for the advice.
I see you, champion. Sit, please.
So, what time is it? It's almost 3 p.m. So we've been going 3 hours. I play every Saturday at noon. Every single week in Horizon Forbidden West. And go for a couple hours typically, and then every single night, 7 nights a week, I play Bloodborne right now. It's whatever game I'm working on at the time. Right now it happens to be Bloodborne, so I'm going to be back on in about 4 hours and 20 minutes playing some Bloodborne at 7:15 Mountain Standard Time. Feel free to hit like if you enjoyed watching, subscribe if you want to keep watching. No pressure to do either of those things, but it's definitely appreciated. I hope you all have a lovely rest of your afternoon, or whatever time it might be, wherever you're watching from. And I will see those that can make it back tonight. Otherwise, I'll see those that can make it back next week. Sorry to hear that you probably won't be able to stop in next week, but I totally get it, Astro. Thanks for hanging out today. We'll figure out what side quests we do next week. Let's just kind of wander and see what seems appealing. I also got to do the stuff with Draka and Yara as well. I don't know. We'll see what happens. We will see. Catch y'all next time. Bye-bye.